Welcome back to our channel. In addition to being a well-known actress who has won 2 Oscars and numerous other honors, Jane Fonda is a representation of tenacity, creativity, and unwavering commitment. From a Hollywood beauty star to an 87-year-old social activist, novelist, and fashion model, Jane has seen many highs and lows, obstacles, and spectacular victories. From the scars of her early years and her complicated connection with her father to her tumultuous marriages and a cancer diagnosis in her later years, Jane Fonda's bravery in overcoming hardship inspires unending adoration. She has achieved success not only on screen but also as a strong woman who defends the environment, fights injustice, and advocates for social justice. At the age of 87, what still astounds the world? Come along as we examine Jane Fonda's illustrious career, her unseen hardships, and her unspoken fortitude, a woman who not only survives, but also battles and shines in her own unique manner. Early life. Born into a well-known family, Jane Fonda was born in New York City on December 21, 1937. But there were unseen flaws that few people were aware of behind that glitzy front. Her father, Henry Fonda, was a Hollywood movie star who served as the inspiration for innumerable strong and honorable on-screen personas. But in reality, Henry was aloof and chilly. He never showed emotion, and he never interacted with his children. Jane and her father had a complicated connection as a result of her desire for his approval and affection but her inability to communicate with him. Despite her dazzling beauty and aristocratic background, Jane's mother, Frances Ford Seymour, had severe psychological scars. Frances was under a lot of stress from life and her husband's constant distance. Her mental health problems, which included depression and emotional instability, had a long-lasting effect on Jane's early years and frequently caused her to feel alone and abandoned. Jane had a great deal of love and respect for her father in spite of his coldness. She tried to live up to his expectations all of her life, even going so far as to pursue an acting profession in an attempt to win him over. Acting with her father in the movie On Golden Pond was one of Jane's favorite and most significant experiences. Jane genuinely conveyed her emotions in a poignant sequence, transcending the script to win Henry over. For the first time, Jane experienced a genuine bond with her father. It was a moment of reconciliation between two individuals who had been emotionally estranged for a long time. When Jane's mother, Frances, committed suicide at the age of 12, following years of struggling with mental illness, it was a huge shock. It was an irreparable loss that profoundly impacted Jane's mental health and perspective on life. However, it wasn't until a newspaper piece many later that she found out the reality. Along with the unexpected loss, Jane felt guilty about not knowing the true cause of her mother's death and always wondered whether there was anything she could have done to help her. Jane's life was affected by the emotional trauma she had as a youngster, from her sexual relationships to her self-perception. Always looking on other people, particularly the men in her life, for approval. Nevertheless, Jane overcame those setbacks and tragedies, discovering her inner fortitude and growing into the strong lady the world admires. Career trajectory and prominent positions. Following a difficult upbringing and tense relationship with her father, Jane Fonda made the decision to pursue acting, in part to get away from the baggage of her past and in part to win her father's approval. In addition to being her career, acting became a means for her to express herself, face her traumas, and discover her purpose in life. Over the course of her career, Jane underwent several significant changes, evolving from a dazzling Hollywood star to a renowned actress and bold social crusader. During her early career, Jane Fonda played legendary parts that occasionally objectified women. Her performance in the 1968 movie Barbarella, which was directed by her then-husband Roger Vadim, was one of her first notable achievements. With Jane dressed provocatively, the film became a representation of the 1960s and made her a Hollywood sex queen. Behind the celebrity, though, Jane struggled with the picture she was presenting, a sensual persona that did not accurately reflect the freedom and ideals she sought. Barbarella was a combination of objectification and feminism. On the one hand, Jane's character was given the ability to save a planet and drive her spaceship. Conversely, the narrative focused on her sexually suggestive experiences. Jane felt constrained to a stereotype she didn't want to be because of the skimpy attire and sensuous presentation. Jane revealed that she had to drink wine to gain courage in order to get over her nervousness when filming such bold sequences. After realizing she needed a change as a result of this experience, Jane made the decision to divorce Vadim and return to the United States in order to start over in her life and career. When Jane Fonda starred in They Shoot Horses, Don't They?, it was clear how she had changed. 1969, with its socioeconomic reality and the desperation of dance marathon competitors during the Great Depression, this movie stood in sharp contrast to Barbarella. Jane played a poor, hopeless woman who entered the competition solely to win money and eventually decided to take her own life. Because she had the chance to delve into deep facets of society and humanity, it was the first time Jane genuinely felt that she liked acting and found purpose in her career. In addition to showcasing her exceptional acting abilities, this role earned her her first acting role. Jane Fonda was not just a beauty icon but also a gifted performer with a wide range of roles. Her performance as a prostitute named Bree Daniels in the psychological thriller Clute, 1971, was her first significant hit. In-depth research and a remarkable capacity for character immersion were necessary for this role, and Jane's portrayal of Bree was incredibly deep and authentic. Her first Oscar was won for her performance, demonstrating both her extraordinary acting ability and her willingness to change her image. Jane made a statement at the 1972 Oscars by donning a black suit with a Mao collar, not to show off her wealth, but to voice her disapproval of the Vietnam War. Jane made a strong political statement with her choice at a time when Hollywood was decked out in glitzy outfits. It demonstrated that Jane was more than simply a movie star and that she was prepared to use her voice and reputation to advocate for her values. In Coming Home, 1978, Jane won her second Oscar for her portrayal of a woman who develops feelings for a Vietnam War veteran who was suffering from serious psychological injuries. In addition to being a love story, Coming Home also made a strong statement against war and the negative effects of it. In an effort to encourage and increase awareness of the deaf community, a minority that is sometimes disregarded at important events like the Oscars, Jane prepared her speech in sign language to accept the prize. One of her most impressive moments, it showed how much she cared for those in need and how eager she was to utilize her position to change the world. Jane's performance in the 1980 comedy 9 to 5 made her famous as well, where she collaborated with Dolly Parton and Lily Tomlin to illustrate the difficulties experienced by female office workers who must deal with discrimination and harassment at work. The movie, which went on to become one of the most popular comedies of the 1980s, amply demonstrated Jane's dedication to promoting women's rights. She not only starred in it but also started the project, motivated by the testimonies of female office workers she met while advocating. The film was a huge hit because it addressed important societal topics that few people dared to talk about while also making people laugh. Personal life and marriages. Following her triumphant acting career and countless accolades, Jane Fonda encountered many difficulties in her personal life. In 1965, when her acting career was taking off, Jane was married for the first time to Roger Vadim. French-Russian filmmaker Vadim was well known for leading a free-spirited, bohemian lifestyle. Vadim was the director of Barbarella, which turned Jane into a 1960s sensual symbol. However, there were many disagreements and difficulties in Vadim's married life. Jane reluctantly agreed to Vadim's suggestion of an open marriage because he supported free love. Jane didn't really know herself at the moment. She felt that the only way to save their marriage was to comply with Vadim's expectations, so she made a constant effort to win her husband over. Jane was very affected by Vadim's freedom, though, and felt abandoned and denigrated as a result. In addition, Jane had to use her mother's fortune to pay off Vadim's gambling debts, and he frequently asked her for money to assist him in resolving his financial issues. Jane previously talked about how she became withdrawn and lost her voice when she was forced to accept things against her choice in a marriage. Jane ultimately made the decision to get a divorce in 1973 because she could no longer endure emotional suffering and compromise. She and Vadim continued to be friends in spite of this, and they shared custody of their daughter, Vanessa. Jane also learned for the first time that empathy and respect are necessary for love to exist. Tom Hayden, a well-known political activist who shared Jane's beliefs in the pursuit of social justice, was the subject of her second marriage. Shortly after Jane's divorce from Vadim, they were married in 1973. She was passionate about politics and wanted to make a difference in society, just like Hayden. Jane completely committed herself to Hayden's political beliefs, eschewing the alluring persona of Barbarella to become a powerful feminist activist. She became the family's main source of income, making money from her well-known fitness videos and acting. Jane Fonda rose to prominence in the home workout movement at that time. Her debut exercise DVD, Jane Fonda Workout, was published in 1982. In addition to being a business venture, this was a means for her to make money to help Hayden with his political initiatives, including the creation and upkeep of the Campaign for Economic Democracy. At first, Jane didn't think the video would be so popular. Her sole goal was to give folks an easy and efficient way to work out at home. But the publication of the video came at the ideal moment, since there was a growing demand for at-home workouts. Jane Fonda Workout, the best-selling home workout video ever, became an immediate phenomenon and a huge hit thanks to its clear directions and approachable style. For the first time, a workout video achieved this degree of popularity, and it contributed to Jane Fonda becoming a symbol of the fitness movement, particularly among women. Millions of people worldwide were inspired by her fitness films, which not only helped them get better but also started a movement toward a more upbeat and self-assured way of living. It was insufficient to be a successful and loyal wife. Even though Jane Fonda and Tom Hayden had similar values, their relationship was not without its problems. Tom frequently disapproved of Jane's social activities and tended to be critical of her attempts. Because of this, Jane felt that she was never good enough and that she had to work more to be accepted. Jane was devastated when Hayden fell in love with someone else. She also came to the realization that it was time to break free from the confines of an unhappy marriage at that point. When the marriage disbanded in 1990, Jane entered a new stage of freedom and independence. Ted Turner, the creator of CNN, was Jane's last husband in 1991. Ted Turner had a strong will and was powerful. And in order to devote herself entirely to her duty as his wife, Jane had to give up her work. She gave up acting, stepped away from politics, and made an effort to be the ideal wife Ted had always wanted. To appease her spouse, she made an effort to alter who she was, even sacrificing her beliefs and interests. But after years of making concessions, Jane eventually came to the realization that she was no longer the strong, independent, and passionate woman she once was. In the end, she chose to get a divorce in 2001. Jane revealed that she would never have been able to become the fulfilled person she desired to be if she had stayed with Ted, despite the challenges of their separation. Jane Fonda set out on a path of self-discovery and independence following 3 turbulent marriages. Jane made the decision that she would no longer rely on Ted Turner to help her determine her value when they parted ways. She revealed that, for the first time in her life, she felt completely independent and didn't require approval from others. She put herself first, enjoying freedom, environmental activity, and promoting gender equality while rejecting any new personal relationships. Jane revealed that living on her own freed her from the expectations and standards of others, enabling her to develop into a fully realized woman. Jane Fonda made significant progress in altering her beliefs about independence and love. She realized that her worth came from her deeds and contributions to society, not from what other people thought of her. Even at the age of 87, Jane is passionate about living life to the fullest and continues to dedicate herself to the world. She has always shown that she has the capacity to reinvent herself. Jane Fonda chose to pursue her acting career again after divorcing Ted Turner. She had been away from the spotlight for 15 years, concentrating on her family and playing the part of the wife of one of America's most influential men, so this was a courageous move. At one point, Jane believed she would never be able to return to Hollywood and that her acting career was over. But in 2005, she was given the chance to co-star with singer and actress Jennifer Lopez in the comedy Monster-in-Law. Jane's performance in Monster-in-Law was a remarkable return, and the movie assisted her in winning back the audience's affections. Jane's portrayal as a challenging and cunning mother-in-law generated a lot of laughter and a comical competition with Jennifer Lopez's character. This contrast turned the movie into a highlight and helped it become one of the year's biggest hits. Jane revealed that she purposefully picked Monster-in-Law because it was a movie that young people would see for Jennifer Lopez before discovering Jane Fonda again and falling in love. In fact, the picture was a huge success and helped Jane rediscover her love and enthusiasm for acting. After Monster-in-Law, Jane worked with Lily Tomlin on the comedy series Grace and Frankie, 2015, further solidifying her place in the entertainment business. Since 1980, when they first met and worked together from 9 to 5, Jane and Lily had developed a close connection. Jane was thrilled and eager for a new experience when producer Marta Kaufman, who co-created the popular television show Friends, approached her. When Grace, played by Jane Fonda, and Frankie, played by Lily Tomlin, 2 middle-aged women, learn that their husbands are in love and decide to get married, their lives undergo a significant transformation. In addition to making people laugh, the show had many deep lessons about love, friendship, and adjusting to life's challenges. The juxtaposition of 2 utterly different characters, one smart and elegant, the other free-spirited and bohemian, who develop a bond of empathy and become best friends, was masterfully shown. Grace and Frankie was adored by viewers of all ages and went on to become Netflix's longest-running comedy series. Not only did the show make many older ladies laugh, but it also gave them hope that life can still be vibrant and fascinating at any age. In addition to being a chance to resume her acting career, Jane explained that being in Grace and Frankie allowed her to demonstrate that creativity and the joy of life are not limited by age. In addition to helping Jane feel loved and supported in her life and career, her connection with Lily Tomlin was crucial in sustaining her dedication. Jane Fonda, who was over 85 years old, was dealing with yet another severe illness. Jane declared in September 2022 that she had been diagnosed with non-Hodgkin lymphoma, a cancer that is somewhat common in the U.S. The Globe was taken aback but also impressed by her composed and upbeat demeanor when she revealed this information on her Facebook page. Jane expressed confidence that the condition could be well cured and said she would have chemotherapy for 6 months. Since 80% of people with non-Hodgkin lymphoma survive, according to data. She stated that not everyone in America has access to the greatest doctors and insurance, and that she felt privileged to have both. Jane Fonda dealt with the disease with fortitude rather than despair or terror. She saw this sickness as a teacher that taught her how to deal with life's obstacles, particularly as she grew older. Jane revealed that the illness made her more aware of life's frailty and the need of savoring each moment. In addition to being a physical hardship, cancer taught Jane a valuable lesson about how to deal with and adjust to circumstances beyond our control. Jane Fonda declared that she would not allow her humanitarian activities and environmental endeavors to be disrupted by a significant obstacle such as cancer. Jane continued to devote herself to environmental conservation, taking part in initiatives to increase awareness about human rights and climate change, rather than taking it easy and concentrating only on her treatment. She is adamant that she can still make a positive impact on society and carry on her mission to change the world despite any obstacles. Jane Fonda's empathy and concern for other people are among the qualities that make her so unique. When considering families that were less fortunate to have access to the same level of medical treatment that she did, Jane wrote in her post about her sickness that she was heartbroken. Given that she was one of the few people who could afford to receive high-quality medical care, she felt compelled to do more to promote healthcare equality because, in Jane Fonda's case, age, illness, or any other limitation could not stop her from leading a purposeful and committed life. Resilient and strong, Jane steadily regained her health and carried on with her work, not letting fear stop her from venturing into new fields. Last but not least, her radiant and graceful 87-year-old catwalk performance enthralled millions of people and made a significant impact on society. Jane Fonda shocked everyone by walking the catwalk during Paris Fashion Week, one of the biggest fashion shows in the world, on September 23, 2024. Jane, who walked the runway with flair and vigor among youthful models like Kendall Jenner and Cara Delevingne, captured everyone's attention. The younger models were far more charming and attractive than Jane, even though she was the oldest celebrity on the runway that day. Jane made a stylish, comfortable, and vibrant decision by dressing sportily and wearing shoes and a dazzling silver long coat. The audience cheered and applauded enthusiastically as she walked with grace, confidence, and a loving smile that never stopped. Notably, Jane gave the audience a wink as she came to the end of the runway, displaying her easygoing and spontaneous manner, establishing an unforgettable event that thrilled supporters. In addition to making a big impression during her live performance, Jane Fonda's catwalk soon garnered hundreds of online community accolades and applause. Thousands of comments praised her as an enduring figure and expressed appreciation for her as her runway photographs swiftly went viral on social media. One Instagram user commented that she was around 87 years old and yet looked amazing on the catwalk, while others said they got chills watching her. Every action Jane Fonda takes, from daring to live true to herself and never giving up on her aspirations, is a confirmation that genuine beauty and confidence originate from inside. Jane Fonda views death in a special way. She views it as a novel adventure rather than something to be afraid of. She acknowledged in an interview that she would accept death peacefully if it were to happen to her now. She considers it a wonder that she is still alive and able to contribute to life at the age of 87, considering she originally believed she wouldn't live past the age of 30. According to Jane, death is an inevitable aspect of life that everyone must deal with. But death is not the thing she fears most, but the regrets that result with having no more time to make things right. As her life draws to a close, Jane worries that there will still be unfinished business, unresolved conflicts, and unspoken words. This motivates her to always make amends for her past transgressions, enjoy life to the fullest, and cherish her time with her loved ones. One of Jane's biggest regrets in retrospect is her previous duty as a mother. She acknowledged that she was not an ideal mother to her young children. Jane's hectic acting career and social life prevented her from spending enough time with her kids. Troy, her son, once asked her, "Why did you even become a mom?" she said. Jane was devastated by the question and realized she had missed a lot of significant events in her children's lives. However, Jane is equally adamant that there is always time. By spending more time with her kids and developing a better bond with them, she is attempting to make up for previous transgressions. For Jane, the first step to improvement and transformation is acknowledging and owning up to her faults. In her older years, she has discovered how to be a better mother, which has given her the happiness and contentment she had previously lacked in her earlier years. Jane Fonda considers herself lucky to have been able to make amends with her father, Henry Fonda, before to his death. Jane declared her love and forgiveness for Henry Fonda's actions and inactions toward her father prior to his death in 1982. Additionally, she begged for his pardon for not being a flawless daughter. It was a very amazing occasion because Jane had never seen her father cry before. She came to learn that forgiveness and reconciliation not only helped her find inner peace but also improved her understanding of love and the importance of family. Jane Fonda is aware that life is too short to harbor resentment and unresolved issues. She never leaves anything unsolved and always makes an effort to make amends with the people she loves. Jane's message about regret and dying is a powerful lesson in life. To really experience life, should not leave anything undone when life ends, and should love and forgive. Please leave your opinions and thoughts in the comments section if Jane Fonda's tale has moved you. Remember to subscribe to the channel so you may keep watching engrossing and moving videos on the adventures of other celebrities you care about. I'll see you in the upcoming video.